Hello Reformers and welcome back to A Clash of Kings. Now when we left off we had actually defected from the Westerlands and we're now going to be pledging ourselves to someone else. Now as you can see I've kind of made a bit of a decision on that because I had kind of three options in my mind about where we were gonna go. Maybe four, really depends, but primarily because Tumbleton is not Stumbleton anymore because I hadn't modified that before I started this series. But anyway, the fact is, we had three options. One was the north, one was the Dornish down here. I actually thought maybe that would be really fun because we've never really allied ourselves with them, with the exception of the Targaryen series that we did, which I thought was pretty cool, but then we eventually had to cannibalize them because they were kind of annoying and bad to us. Anyway, otherwise, we have Dragonstone. That is the only other one that I was kind of thinking of. I was leaning towards the north for the most part because, well, we've never really done that. But, I don't know, it just doesn't really seem logical because if you think about it, just look at where Dragonstone is, and we'll look at where our only fief is, which is of course Acorn Hall. It's all the way over there. So, it's just a stone's throw away. Do you get it? Dragonstone? Yeah, awful. Anyway, the fact is that the only reason I'm kind of choosing Dragonstone is the distance. That kind of is swaying me a little bit because it's far away from the north, very far away in actual fact, and very far away from the Dornish. Now, I was even thinking of maybe allying myself with someone from Essos, but that didn't seem to make much sense either. So, I came to the conclusion that we are going to ally ourselves with King Stannis Baratheon. And we're going to say hi. Hello there. Okay, so I've come to offer you my vassalage. Now, do bear in mind, I have had to place my, well, the majority of my units in my garrison, unfortunately, because I would have loved to have run around with 240 units, because being the liege of your own faction does actually give you massive benefits. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen today because we have to do this. And becoming a vassal removes all of that. Yeah, it takes away a lot of the capacity that you would otherwise have. And I think I have about 100, maybe 110. And yes, I no longer hold any fief to any land. Yes, of course, because my faction has been cannibalized. So yes, now I own Acorn Hall. I do actually own Acorn Hall. Highheart is being raided. Hopefully it's not being raided anymore. Now we have new enemies to fight, which I think is a really, really cool thing. So let's take a look and actually see. Okay, we're against the Stormlands. Oh, we're also against the Westerlands and the Reach. Oh, interesting, interesting. Okay, I was unaware that we were against the Reach, but okay. We are apparently against the Reach. So, let's see what we can do. Thankfully, we're no longer against... Oh, hello. Oh, yes. Hilariously enough, he was my minister, of course, but now he's no longer needed as a minister, so I'm just going to say, welcome back, friend. Welcome back. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, we do have... Yes, thank you very much. We do have a couple of extra enemies here, because obviously we do now have the Westerlands against us, we have the Reach against us, and we do have the Stormlands. But of course the Westerlands as well as the Stormlands are against each other, right? So we're going into quite the free-for-all, I suppose you could say. Anyway, shall I attack Walder Frey? Because it's kind of amusing to do that, considering he was technically a friend of, well, not really a friend of ours, but I guess that it would be kind of amusing to take him out. Let's do it. Okay, so we have 99, he has 80, and I have my King's Helm on because, well, why would you not? I mean, when you have a King's Helm, you must wear the King's Helm. Doesn't matter what rank you are, whether you're the lowest of the low in an army being enlisted or whatever the case may be, or you are, you know, ruler of the world and the universe and all that sort of thing. You're still gonna wear that helm because you gotta do that. Anyway, let's get ready for this. Oh, we actually have a pretty decent army here. Now, I basically just slapped this army together pretty, not really randomly, but I kind of just I don't know, I don't want to say instinctually either, because that's not really the case here. I basically just thought to myself, okay, so what are some really cool units to use? And I chose a bunch of elite spearmen and elite man-at-arms, and then I also have a bunch of mounted sergeants, a couple of dismounted squires, and things like that. And then we have a pretty decent cavalry force as well. So hopefully we're gonna get a good outcome from this. Unfortunately, we only have 13 archers, but hopefully those archers are going to prove to us that they are the right people for the job. So here's the thing, I actually don't have a horse anymore. Why do I not have a horse anymore, by the way? Because I thought I had a horse, but now I don't? Did I have a horse? Huh. Now I'm getting a bit confused because I actually thought I had a horse. I mean, I have a horse in my inventory, so maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the one I need to use, or... oh well, whatever the case may be. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get my cavalry to charge behind them while our infantry goes in. As you can see, our archers are firing away there. And hopefully, then we can charge in from the side, maybe do a little bit of damage to the enemy here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Take him out, thank you very much. Could you please die? Thank you. Ah, this is... oh, yes, he was part of the Riverlands, wasn't he? Yes, but he defected because of our actions, hilariously enough, yes. If you recall, we took Riverrun from them, from the Riverlands, and then the Freys, all of them, actually, all of them, decided to defect to the Westerlands. So now that's the reason why we have to fight them, hilariously enough. I was thinking to myself, oh yes, let's just make it more difficult for us. That's basically what has gone down now, because we are basically making it more difficult for us, adding extra enemies to the faction that we are now fighting. That's really good, isn't it? Good job, me. Good job. Yeah, well, I was only loosely aware that that was a thing that could happen, so obviously it wasn't really at the forefront of my mind at that time. But hopefully we can just win here. That's basically the only goal that I have right now, just winning this battle, because you can see we're actually losing quite a few. Wow, thankfully enough they are using blunt weapons, because the Riverlands are not known for their killing potential, I suppose you could say. At least their units are. Not really. Yes, take him off his mount. That is what you get. Thrust. Can I thrust against him? He looks like a rather wonderful man to thrust against. Ah, no, yep. Yes, he's accepting it. Good. There we are. He accepted it. Unfortunately, a bunch of other people joined in, so it wasn't just a... it wasn't just an intimate situation between Elias and him. Yeah. Elias is really going to complain to me, isn't he? Yes, certainly. Not enough thrusting, he says. Not enough thrusting. Anyway. I think we're good. I think we're actually pretty good. I mean, obviously, the main reason why we're doing well here is because they are just using blunt weapons. If they weren't using blunt weapons, this would be quite the... well, not really a bloodbath, but it would be pretty harsh. Ooh, nice damage right there. Look at that. A nice slash to the head equals 102 damage. Not bad. We actually have a huge amount of units chasing a bunch off to the northwest of the battlefield. That's very strange. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so there you go. 8 renown and 11 morale. Obviously that morale is going to come in handy. I was able to kill 18. Wow, I was able to kill 18. That's pretty good. Alright. Otherwise, we can take some peasants. Yeah, I was kind of correct about the company size. Unfortunately, I had hoped that maybe I had increased somehow. I mean, I think I had about 99 before, 98 or something. So it hasn't really improved that much. Obviously, being the liege of your own faction, that was luxurious. Absolutely luxurious in comparison. Which is a shame. It is a real shame. Alright, well, I'm just going to take a little bit of loot. Yeah, by the way, I sold all my salt in Fair Market. And that was, yeah, it was decent enough, decent. Alright, so is there anything else I can do here? I can level up a little bit of my two-handed weapon proficiency. And we do have, Sathos has actually advanced in level. Well, I suppose this is where we improve his first aid. There we go. So that should help us to survive a little bit better in future missions, because obviously first aid improves your hero's HP levels after they have been damaged. So hopefully that's going to help us out. And obviously he's going to hopefully be getting more levels as time goes on, because he does now have a crossbow. So obviously that's going to help us quite a great deal, actually. So yeah, let's hope we'll see a bunch of kills by Sathos in the near future. That should be pretty fun. Because I'm not really sure about him, to be honest. I mean, obviously he's kind of been a bit useless up until now, so hopefully he's sort of changed his useless ways. Of course, I'm just joking, because he has been actually very useful, because he's one of our medics, of course. He has the first aid skill and the wound treatment skill. He's also a bit of a backup as well, because he does have some surgery, so if Brynden gets eliminated, it's not really a big deal, because we do have that fellow in reserve, I suppose you could say. Otherwise, let's have a look and see what we can do here. Yeah, I did neglect to mention that we actually do now have a pretty decent amount in the bank at Bravos, and that's nice. That's really nice, because we're going to need that. We're going to need that small nest egg eventually. But not just yet. Not just yet. I'm not entirely sure where I should go now, to be honest. I mean, I could technically besiege Duskendale, which would give us a pretty nice expansion for our territory. And I think that might be the way to go. So let's just actually take a look. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me just be like, yeah, I'm gonna just mosey on by, because I certainly do not want to go against someone that has 551 in the garrison. That's probably not the best idea. Okay, so what is King Stannis actually doing? Should I just follow him? Okay, let's go and accompany him. Why not? I mean, I'm sure he's doing something very useful. Of course, I'm just kidding, because I don't know whether he is actually doing something useful, but yes, it seems like we are. Okay, so let's rush to the aid of Renfred. No, we're not going to do that, thank you. Okay, so let's move in and help. Okay, so this is the thing. We're not going to get too much in the way of rewards for this particular fight, because Stannis would have won this no problem at all. There's no real need for me to be helping him here, but any relation increase that we can get with him is good, because this is a very similar situation to what we had with House Targaryen all those months ago when I did that series, and because they were basically on their last legs. And I have told this story before, but well, if you missed it, here's a quick rundown. They were basically going to be eliminated any second, any moment, and I was able to find, what is his name again? Aegon Targaryen, that's it. I was able to find him, and I was able to say, hey, would you allow me to rebuild your entire faction? Yeah, basically that's what happened. So, talked to him. He accepted us as a vassal as I got shot. Thank you very much for interrupting me. And yeah, so then I started besieging things. I started taking things for House Targaryen, and then he started awarding these fiefs to the various vassals in the house itself, and we prospered from there. We took over the entirety of the Stormlands, we killed the entirety of Dorne, and basically just absolutely dominated. So it was really, really fun to have that kind of situation, and it's kind of a bit similar with the Dragonstone faction here. Obviously, they're not just about to be eliminated. You know, they've got a pretty decent, shall we say, stronghold. You know, they're not actually that weak in comparison to what House Targaryen was at that time. But still, they are one of the smallest factions at the moment, obviously excluding the Essos factions, because Essos factions in general are pretty small, but Westeros factions in comparison are obviously quite large. The Reach especially is absolutely huge, and Dragonstone in general is one of the smaller ones, so helping these guys to reclaim some form of power would actually be a really fun way to go about things. So hopefully it's going to work out like that, and we're hopefully going to get a little bit of personality, shall we say, from the varieties of different vassals that we are going to be encountering, because we had this whole thing going on with House Targaryen, and they all had their own personalities, the vassals, and it was absolutely hilarious because they would just turn up and do random stuff all the time, and who knows, sometimes they actually did do amazing things. Like, they were even able to, towards the end of the series, take a bunch of Dornish fiefs without me doing anything. They called their own campaign, they went over there all by themselves, and they were like, oh, this is all thanks to Elias. He did this for us. No, they didn't say that at all, actually, but anyway, the point is, I think that's a pretty cool scenario, and hopefully we'll be able to do something similar to that with Dragonstone. And there's one enemy remaining, and he's dead. Thank you. Thank you, come again. No, please don't come again. I would much appreciate it if this Westerlands vassal would not appear too quickly. Thank you very much. Alright, so we lost one, that's absolutely fine, and, well, Stannis was unable to get any kills. Did he actually take any casualties? He took no casualties? Well, one. He took one casualty. I suppose it's because he didn't charge in or anything. Yeah, as you can see, the relation with him is only going to increase at a snail's pace if we continually help him against armies that he outnumbers. But if we participate and help him against an army that is equal to him or greater, then we're going to gain a huge relation boost with him. And that's going to make a massive difference to whether he gives us things. So let's see whether that can happen soon. I mean, here's an absolutely huge army of the Stormlands. Is he actually going to do this? I'm very... Whoa, okay. Is he just... Is he thinking... Is he in his right mind? I'm not entirely sure. He actually has some pretty decent units, so maybe I shouldn't be questioning him this much. But anyway. Let's see what happens here. These guys just gonna... okay. That is... Okay, that's very strange. Alright. I guess I'm just gonna go in and help him then, but I'm very surprised that the other Westerlands vassals did not go in there, or even attack me together, because they probably could have done that, and they might have formed a pretty... well, I was gonna say formidable, but no. They're probably not gonna form a formidable force anytime soon, because they are very much on the back burner. You know, they're on the back foot at the moment. They're not really doing a very good job at mustering strong armies, so I suppose the best thing for us to do in the near future and going forward is to rally the Dragonstone banner. Just carry it forward. Try and take as many Westerlands fiefs as we can get our hands on, and if we can, strike at the Reach and Stormlands as well. Obviously, just be a little bit opportunistic in that regard. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to see you a little bit closer to the enemy. Oh yes, I forgot, we're actually against the Riverlands. So this is obviously going to be a zero casualties battle, unless some of the Riverlands get lucky shots or something like that. Anyway, I've been attempting to use my crossbow here. I actually took out the horse of the enemy leader, but now I've lost him. Obviously, he's just been eliminated now, but I wanted to kill him so that his forces would actually charge in ahead of schedule, because, well, suffice it to say, the AI is being a little bit difficult when it comes to these kinds of battles where they are heavily outnumbered, because, you know, they're basically just trying to survive and preserve their army, but in doing so, it kind of delays the flow of battle a little bit too much for my liking. So attempting to take out the Lord would have caused all of his forces to charge, so that would have been nice, but oh well, was unable to, at least at that point. So there we go, I actually killed one. Yeah, there's another one relation with Stannis. That's not really good. Maybe we'll be able to get a little bit more if he decides to attack someone of larger strength. Oh my, okay, so how much am I actually... Oh my. Okay, that's a bit much. Look at that. That is crazy. 4,800 in wages. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna see what happens with that, aren't we? Anyway, I'm gonna follow Stannis around a little bit and see where he goes. He seems to be not really knowing what he's doing, but Hopefully he'll attack some of these guys, perhaps. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.